I forget to mention I'm rocking a Project N1 shirt. Hey John, things getting a little tight on me. Might also be because I'm getting fat. Why don't you throw me one of them XLs? I think this is a large, and I'm fat. Let's talk about snowflake fields, little snowflake players, and little safe spaces in Airsoft. For the most part, for me, a snowflake field is always going to have an MED. That's the biggest thing for me. But I will say I'm okay with MEDs for like snipers if they allow those snipers to go like about 450, 500, and they allow them to shoot like a .3 BB. Okay, we can compromise with that. Maybe I'd be okay with like a 5-foot MED, maybe like depending on the layout, or you can just do the adult thing and just ask me nicely not to point blank kids. I'll abide by that. That's fair. You come at me and say, hey, we see you're not a rental, you're not a newer player, you kind of know what you're doing on the field. Could you kind of not point blank our rentals or our 13-year-olds? Cool. That's nice. You ask me nicely, I won't shoot your rental Cody kids in the face that much. But if you have like a butthole tight field layout, no. Kids are going to get shot in the face. Kids are going to get shot point blank. Keep in mind, this is also kind of the field's fault. You cannot design a tightly knit CQB style field and then say, hey, there's a minimum 10-foot MED. Well, then why did you design the field like this? Then why did you make the average engagement like 5 to 8 feet? That's stupid. That's the field's fault. I don't really throw the snowflake field title to a field that will run like 10-foot MED games on the weekends, but then during the week they have 0 MED games. So Tax City, I think, is an interesting anomaly in the game because they basically cater to babies and rentals and noobs during the weekend, but during the weekday they are running, my understanding is they run a lot more full force nights, they're running more speed nights, they're doing more tournament based stuff. That's my understanding or my perception that I'm getting from my friends that play that field. So for me, Tax City is an interesting asterisk in the game because they sort of do everything. Obviously, me being personal friends with Sonny and Tax City means a lot to me personally as a field. I understand that that's more of a marketing thing, that he wants to save the weekends or the bulk of his business for the bulk of his player base, which is going to be a bunch of new kids and newbies that are going to spend money on rentals and buy new guns and blah, blah, blah. And then during the week, it's the more harder core players that are running GoPros and Speed QB setups and high-end DSGs, high-end HPA setups, like a higher level of player. Okay, that's just marketing. If you're a field that bans trigger feathering, snowflake field. If your field has an MED and doesn't want anything to do with tournaments or competitions, double snowflake field. If they ban HPA guns, they are the kings of snowflake fields, the supreme ruler of the snowflake fields. If you can't go into a building with a rifle at 400 FPS, bundle up, kids, put on a jacket. Snowflake field. Surprisingly enough, here's what did make my little snowflake criteria. I'm not really mad at fields that mandate a trigger guard. It's a dumb rule. It doesn't make any sense to me because I challenge anyone watching this video to show me an example of where a trigger guard or an extended trigger was the determining factor between victory and defeat for an entire field's game. You show me that video. You show me where that made a difference. Snowflake field, not really. Banning extended triggers, not really. I get it. It's not really a snowflake thing. It's stupid. It's snowflakey. Not so much. Fields that ban pre-fire, I'm not too mad at. It's not really snowflakey to me. If the reason that field does that is because that is more of a realism field, and they ban pre-firing because for them it falls under their blind fire rule, and that field more tailors to the realism side of the house. So if that field, for the most part, has more realistic rules, I'm okay with that, as long as that's a consistent theme for the field. I'm not really mad at that. What about fields where you can't use your own BBs? You gotta use the field BBs. I'm kind of okay with that. You don't really see it a whole lot, but also where you do see stuff like that is paintball. I don't think you can use your own paint at certain paintball fields during general play, so Why do we care? Paintball, airsoft, no! Shut up. Just buy the BBs that they have there. Look, you already spent hundreds of dollars on all this gear anyway. Now you're gonna piss, moan, whine, and complain because you have to spend an extra $20 to $25 exclusively at this field? Shut up. That money goes to support the field. So shut your mouth. You want to play airsoft? That's what you gotta do. I would be a little more accepting if they had a criteria that your BBs had to meet, and as long as you brought them in like an unsealed container, then that would be okay. So for instance, let's say you go to a field and the rule is all BBs must be bio only. Well, as long as you bring your own BBs that are in a sealed container, like as long as you don't just somehow try to open the cap, dump them out, pour in plastic BBs, like, yeah, I'm okay with that. As long as you can bring your own stuff in a sealed container, as long as you buy it online or at a store and then just not open it until you get to the field, I'd be more accepting of that. Oregon Airsoft, you have to use field BBs, I believe. Not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. Suck it up. Well, what about Milsim events? If that event has an MED, you're going to want to put on a coat. If they're letting their dudes run AEG rifles at a higher FPS, so if like say you can have an M4 AEG at like 415, 420, 425 or higher, and you can run like .3s, I'm okay with like a 10-foot MED or a higher level MED. Also at the same, look, let's be honest. If you're at a Milsim event and you get shot point blank, you suck. You should just leave. You are very bad at this game. You are bad for your team. You just need to go away. Because you let someone in the open terrain get so close they could touch you. You're bad. Go away. If they ban intentional headshots, got real cold at that event. Let me also clarify this with a definition of, when I say a Milsim player, I'm talking about an immersionist or a player that tends to want to adhere to the realism side of the house versus kind of the gamer side of the house. So that, you know, to me there's a definition there. I actually harp on Milsim players more because you can't say you want more realism but then also want all these snowflakey safety rules. That's not real, kids. You want war? Okay, we're gonna have war. No MED. There's no such thing as overshooting. You can be shot in the head as many times as you want. That's real. That's what real war is all about. Guess what? The enemy doesn't play by the rules. So just stay in your little safe space and keep buying little mini-maps that you're not going to use. You will most likely never see me play general gameplay at any field with an MED. I have a couple fields on my road trip for the summer I have planned that I might hit up, just kind of like a one-off just to kind of check it out and catch a vibe for it. For the most part, you're never going to see me claim home field at a spot that has an MED. That's, no, I'm not going to do that. I would rather not play or play at a field an hour away than play at a field with a 10-foot MED. I don't want to be around that environment. The real reason I hate these rules is because I personally believe that field owners are not creating an environment for their young players to learn about growth, success, and failure. They create this little safe space that they want to put their kids in, where they won't get hurt, and they don't have to conquer their fears, and everything's going to be okay, and no one's going to get close, and no one's going to do anything bad. You ever point a gun at a kid on a bang kill, and he gives up and cowers in a corner? That's fear, kids. You're afraid. You're afraid of pain. You're afraid. And because you're afraid, you gave up. And you allowed yourself to get dominated. You gave yourself to the mercy of your adversary. Good luck. Good luck going through life like that. You'll let me know how that works out for you. That fear is an infectious plague that for whatever reason, we don't want our children to be confronted with. We just want to keep them protected from all the bad things in the world. So for me, an MED rule is the Airsoft equivalent of a participation trophy. It's a result of more and more kids spending less time in contact sports and more time in front of these little screens or on their little phones and disconnecting from reality and disconnecting from the harshness that the world can provide. You're not letting your kids grow. You're not letting your kids challenge themselves. You just want them to have this little safe space. The kids that love these rules are the kids that don't want to play in the mud because they don't want to get dirty. The kids that love these rules are the same kids that have everything given to them. Let's talk about Snowflake players now. Everyone assumes that I think non-competitive airsofters are snowflakes. That's not true. I might joke about that. It's sincerely not true. Everyone assumes I think cosplayers are snowflakes. False. Everyone assumes I think Milsimmers are snowflakes. Nope, soap. To me, a snowflake is a player that thinks that Speedsoft is the devil and Milsim is the only way. Or someone that thinks Milsim is dumb and Speedsoft is the only way. I think a snowflake is any player that thinks that Airsoft should be one thing and one thing only, and that thing is what they think it should be. If a player has the MED rule broken on them unintentionally, and they freak out and completely break down emotionally and start screaming for the ref because they got shot at point blank with a .20 from an appropriately chronoed gun, use Snowflake. You gonna want to put on a jacket. It's gonna get real cold on the field because it's just a snowing and blowing. A lot of players that want to act like refs are big time snowflakes. Any of those players that come up to you and start lecturing you on the rules. Now, there's a difference between a friendly or a polite reminder versus a full-on lecture. If you're getting lectured by a player on rules, you getting lectured by a snowflake. Snow's a falling. Or that field just sucks because they haven't staffed it with adequate refs. Or both. Here's the main issue I have with these little snowflake players. Anything that comes in and threatens their little safe space. Ooh, it's so safe in here. I don't have to get challenged. I don't have to deal with anyone better than me. I don't have to do anything different. I don't have to struggle. I don't have to do anything. I could just show up, do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And anytime I get challenged, I don't like it. Anytime there's change is bad. I just want to shoot people from a safe distance and blah, 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 blah. If all you want to do is wreck rentals and casuals, but you get super huffy and puffy and pissy when some other guy comes in and wrecks you because you suck at a game and you get upset, Snowflake, use a snowflake. Snowflake, use a snowflake. Snowflake. You want everything to be handed to you. I don't want to be around you. I want to be around people who want to get better, who are okay of being challenged, who are okay with struggle, and who are okay to admit that they're not that great. And then they grow from there. That's what I want to be around. I don't want to be around you. Use a snowflake.
Caber, who the f*** are you, nerd?